I'm going to be signing a national emergency. And it's been signed many times before. It's been signed by other presidents. From 1977 or so, it gave the presidents the power. There's rarely been a problem. They sign it. Nobody cares. I guess they weren't very exciting.
Build that wall. 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 Build that wall.
The president can declare an emergency on something that he has created as an emergency, an illusion that he wants to convey. Just think of what a president with different values can present to the American people. You want to talk about a national emergency? Let's talk about today, the one-year anniversary of another manifestation of the epidemic of gun violence in America. That's a national emergency.
Directed the full resources of our intelligence and law enforcement communities to find those responsible and to bring them to justice. We will make no distinction between the terrorists who committed these acts and those who harbor them.
Let you guys know exactly what's happening, and share these videos, guys. I know you guys have been doing a great job sharing the videos and getting the message out. Linda, we counted 500 last night, approximately, give or take a few heads. Yep, there's a lot of illegals waiting for their flight out of here. That's what happens after processing. They're not staying here in El Paso like everybody thinks. They get bus tickets, they get airplane tickets, and then they fly to cities near you. A lot of people heading up north. So if you think this doesn't affect you, you're wrong. You're going to have these people in your city, and they're going to need a place to live. They're going to need food. They're going to need health care, and so you're definitely going to be seeing these people. It'll affect you. And like I said, this is not Hispanics, Latinos, Mexicans coming through here. This is Hondurans, Somalis, Ecuadorians, Africans, Guatemala, Cubans. I mean, the list goes on. Haitians. We've got a ton of people down here coming through, and they're coming through all the time. So, yeah, it's just, it's nonstop. So, when people say that we're down here just apprehending the future maids from Motel 6, that's not even funny. It's not even a joke, because I'm going to tell you guys something. That's not the case here. These are people, this is an invasion. And it's an organized invasion. These people didn't just decide one day that they were going to get in large groups from all these different countries and say, hey, wouldn't now be a great time to just go live in the United States and bomb rush their borders? That didn't just happen one day. So We've got to get to the bottom of who's organizing this, who's funding this. And if it is George Soros, then he needs to be arrested. He needs to be locked up and tried for treason. Because this is an act of war against the country. That's the bottom line. And anybody who sees it any differently, try crossing into someone else's country. Try invading another country and see what happens. If all of us Americans decided we were going to get in bundles of 20 or 30,000 people and go invade Germany, I promise you,
We'll be met with legal
yeah, we wouldn't be met with an Uber service border patrol that takes us to processing to feed us and gets us taken care of. No, that wouldn't happen. And you know what? Yes, maybe a very small percentage of these people have a legitimate asylum claim, and I mean a very small percentage. Okay, 6 or 7% would actually make it through the credible fear hearing. So you're talking about 80% of these people coming in that are just coming here just because, whether it's because they want a better job, whether they have an alternative agenda, whatever it is. Maybe they heard about AOC's plan for socialism and they thought, well, let's try some American socialism if that's what's coming. But it's future voters for the Democrats as well. That's why they're pushing so hard to get these people here, and that's why the left doesn't care. You know, it's funny how 5 years ago, and I've said this before, how they were so concerned about making sure that we had a fence, that we were able to protect our borders, and they were concerned about national security. And unfortunately, that all changed. So, bottom line is, we got to do something here, guys. I'm going to keep sharing the videos. I don't know if that's going to help with any of the liberals. They seem to just think it's okay. I don't understand where that came from. But you know, it's just, I don't know. We're going to have to get to the bottom of this because it ain't getting better. It's getting worse. And like I said, there's a lot of people coming right now from South Mexico up here. Plus, we have a lot of people right here. I mean, within 10 miles of here, if you go over here into Mexico, there's probably close to 100,000 illegals over there that are in that city that are trying to get over here to get in. So there's only a few places they can get in. So when you see these little numbers of 500, that ain't nothing. We could have 2,000 come at us in a day, or more. So anybody who says this ain't a crisis, or they think it's a manufactured political stunt, or that this is just, Donald Trump making stuff up, unfortunately, Trump is the only one telling the truth. And you're not going to see stuff like this on CNN. They're not going to give you the full story of what's going on. And so that's why we have to take these videos, and that's why we have to share them and get the truth out there, get the message out there, because nobody else is going to do it. So anyway, guys, I will chat with you later. This is Jim, live from the U.S.-New Mexico border, down here by Camp Liberty. If you want to visit our other page, go over to United Constitutional Patriots, New Mexico Border Ops. Otherwise, if we get anything cooking down here, I will definitely go live. And thank you guys for watching, and thanks for sharing these videos. Talk to you later.
Whether it's asylum, whether it's anything you want, it's illegal immigration, can't take you anymore. You can't take you. Our country is full.
if someone you hated offered to pay off your mortgage, put your kids through college, or deliver a tractor trailer full of Snickers bars to your house? You'd be confused at first and suspicious. Why is an enemy giving you the gift of a lifetime? But in the end, if you were smart, you would take the gift. It would be too good to pass up. Well, something very much like that happened in Washington last night. The Washington Post reported that the Trump administration has been debating moving some of the thousands of migrants now massing on our southern border into various self-proclaimed sanctuary cities across the United States. The president later confirmed that as true in a tweet. As of tonight, that policy remains under consideration. Talk about great news for blue America. The left loves impoverished immigrants from the developing world, and why wouldn't they? They make our cities safer, they tell us. They improve our schools. They provide the backbone of our economy. They do the work that we won't do. They are diverse. They are our strength. They are the best of America, even though technically they're not Americans. Sanctuary cities love them best of all. That's why they've become sanctuaries for illegal immigrants. Every Democrat now running for president has affirmed this repeatedly.
If you could, would you take the wall down now? Here. Yes. Like you have a wall. Absolutely. Knock it down.
Offer a home to refugees. That is who we are. That's our values. That's part of what we do.
So instead of building a wall or closing the border, we should choose compassion instead of cruelty.
We welcome refugees and bring people out of the shadows.
Immigration is not a security issue. It is an economic and a humanitarian and a family issue. There is no such thing as an illegal human.
There is no such thing as an illegal human. Good point, Kirsten Gillibrand. We appreciate your eloquence. Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf believes that so deeply that last year she warned illegal immigrants in her city, including several criminals, that an ICE raid was coming. She wanted to give them time to flee, and they did. As she later explained, she had no choice. All good people want more illegal immigrants in their cities.
It is a continued perpetuation of a racist lie that immigrants are not valued members of our society. We in Oakland know better. We in Oakland have a community that welcomes and honors all people, no matter where they came from or how they got here.
In Oakland, they're welcoming. In fact, the whole state is welcoming. In his inaugural address this spring, the incoming governor of California, Gavin Newsom, echoed those words. Everyone can come to California, he said. Absolutely everyone.
Build a house stronger than the coming storms, yet open to the world. A house that provides shelter to all who need it and sanctuary to all who seek it. We will not have one house for the rich and one for the poor, or one for the native born and one for the rest.
So the left really couldn't be clearer on this question. All immigration is good. More immigration is better. There is no distinction between legal and illegal varieties of immigration. And if you disagree with any of this, you are a white nationalist. That's what they said almost every day for the past 2 years. We've watched carefully, and so have you. And now here, completely out of the blue, comes the man they despise most in the world, Donald J. Trump, offering them the one thing they want more than anything, more immigrants, immediately, delivered right to their door at federal expense. Well, it must have been like Christmas morning. You think you're getting another pair of socks, and yet there it is, a pony, tethered to your mailbox. Holy smokes, amazing. Best day of your life. But that's not how they responded. The left wasn't happy about Trump's offer. They were shocked, and they were completely enraged. You know what this is, they said? It's dumping. Dumping, like what you do with garbage or used truck tires in the woods. The headline of Mother Jones read, Donald Trump wants to dump asylum seekers on the streets of American cities, democratic cities. Busing people, wrote the Washington Post Greg Miller, to dump them in cities, just to punish political rivals. In the view of Harry Siegel at the Daily Beast, quote, the White House wanted to dump refugees in sanctuary cities. Siegel called that idea nasty. At the same time, almost simultaneously, as if in concert, in fact, both CNN and MSNBC ran headlines accusing the White House of wanting to dump immigrants into cities. So what's the message the left is sending us? That immigrants are trash? Something you drop off as a cruel prank like a flaming bag of dog waste? If you wanted to defile someone's pristine city, you'd, quote, dump immigrants on it? Whoa, that sounds a little, searching for the word here, racist. A lot racist, actually, but Nancy Pelosi agrees with it, it turns out. She lives in one of these cities that might be dumped on, so she immediately issued a statement decrying it. Quote, "The extent of this administration's cynicism and cruelty cannot be overstated. Using human beings, including little children, as pawns in their warped game to perpetuate fear and demonize immigrants is despicable." But wait a second, this is getting really confusing. It doesn't seem to make sense. How can the presence of immigrants, quote, perpetuate fear? Immigrants aren't dangerous. They've told us that 1,000 times. They're safer than you are. They're amazing, much more amazing than you are. Pelosi says that a lot. So why is it bad that Trump wants to send more immigrants to San Francisco? San Francisco is a sanctuary city. It subverted federal law in the hope that more illegal immigrants would come there. And now they may be coming. But San Francisco is upset. Well, say the news anchors, Trump's plan is illegal. You can't just send migrants to American cities, they're telling us. There's a process. Really? Did the people of Lewiston, Maine go through that process when an entire population of Somalis was moved from a refugee camp in Kenya to their already beleaguered city? Nope, no process. Nobody asked them. The government just did it. The same thing happened to Hazleton, Pennsylvania, and countless other places across this country. That's how it works. That's how it always works. But when you try to do the same thing to the city where Nancy Pelosi lives, it's supposedly, quote, illegal. This is getting confusing, so let's make it easier for everyone. Here's a list of neighborhoods that could use some immediate refugee resettlement. These are affluent places. They're politically liberal, as most affluent places are. As a matter of policy and conviction, they love impoverished immigrants from abroad. They just don't really have any yet. So let's change that. First in line would be Beacon Hill in Boston. That neighborhood has a median income of over $120,000 a year. For perspective, that's more than double the national average. It is strikingly not very diverse, so it would be, of course, greatly strengthened by thousands of migrants. As John Kerry, who lives in Beacon Hill, warned us 2 years ago, quote, fear of the outsider, fear of someone who isn't you, fear of someone who doesn't look like you, is an attack on America itself. Whoa, that's heavy. Let's stop that attack. And let's do it by sending, I don't know, half of the most recent migrant caravan to John Kerry's zip code. He will be thrilled. He'll have to be thrilled. Next, we'll head to the Upper East Side of New York. Former Mayor Michael Bloomberg still lives there. He loves poor immigrants. Unfortunately for him, virtually none of them actually live in his neighborhood. In a city where kids speak close to 200 different languages in the New York City public schools, Michael Bloomberg's zip code is shockingly lacking in diversity. Let's change that, shall we? And while we're at it, let's integrate that city's two most famous private schools, Collegiate and Spence, one for boys, one for girls. Both of those schools are famously and rigorously progressive. They know that diversity is our strength. But how many newly arrived Guatemalan immigrants have they enrolled this year? Not enough. Let's see if we can get that number to over 50% by September. Eisenhower did something very similar at Central High School in Little Rock in 1956. Let's see if Trump can do it with Collegiate and Spence. Finally, we'll go to the Kalorama neighborhood right here in Washington. Barack Obama lives there. As he once put it, quote, we're a nation of immigrants. It has always given America a big advantage over other nations. Now, that may be true, and yet there are virtually no poor immigrants in Kalorama where he lives. What do you say we import a few thousand from the border tomorrow and drop them in? How could Obama say no? But of course he would say no. He'd be livid. He would stop it. Nobody hates diversity more than rich liberals, the very people pushing it. Let's hope immigrants are watching all of this on TV and drawing their own conclusions. The left can say endlessly that they love you, but if they don't want you in their neighborhood, they don't want you going to school with their kids, they're lying.
Within a few feet of their goal after thousands of miles on the road. The police scrambling reinforcements to stop the advance and potentially an even more chaotic encounter with the American military. Blocked from getting into the terminal proper, they pushed through a fence to the cross-border train lines. Scrambling up a sandy, rocky embankment, pulling each other up, encouraging themselves for a charge on the fence. And then they were there. The crowd forced their way through a weak point. And for some, they finally reached the United States. But not for long. US border officers fired tear gas, forcing them back. You can hear the rounds being fired. Some were hit by canisters or rubber bullets. US military helicopters hovered above the crowd, and armed United States officers patrolled the fence, waiting for the Mexican police to restore order. They eventually did, forcing the migrants back to Tijuana. Fighting broke out with locals, and the police moved in and made arrests. Many will be deported immediately. This was perhaps inevitable, and nobody knows what will happen next. But the migrant caravan won't get much sympathy, and especially not in the White House. Stu Ramsey, Sky News.
Quiet just because they put Mexicans on the border. These people already paid. They already made their journey, however they got here, whether it was by airplane, whether by bus, whether it was a combination of a few different things put together. And so now these people are going to have to go somewhere. So now you got Border Patrol tied up. They're off the front line. These guys take anywhere from 2 hours to process per person. There's little background on a lot of these people because they don't have criminal records and stuff that we can access because a lot of these countries don't yet document, so we don't know what they're running from. The kids are a whole nother issue because we don't know that the kids belong to the parents that they're with. We're not allowed to do anything other than if the parents check out, they release them, and they send them to communities like you. And guess who's paying for some of this? This is the resources that come from your local churches. They have a thing down here called the Annunciation House that takes care of these people. We're using Border Patrol to give them a ride to the hospital, give them a ride to the airport, or give them a ride to wherever they need to go. And what we're doing is we're putting these people first over Americans. Our veterans that are sleeping in the street, the homeless, the people that, there's other people besides these people that need help. And while some of these people, a relatively small percent, 7% is the actual number, would actually qualify for asylum in the United States, we are basically just, in a nutshell, letting these people in, giving them a court date, releasing them, and then hoping they show up. And a lot of you think that this issue stays in the border city. A lot of you have been led to believe that this is a border city issue, and I'm here to tell you it's not. Most of these people are going to come to a city near you. They're spreading them out. They're being sponsored when they get to the United States. This is a very organized invasion. We've talked about this. When we use the word invasion, we talk about that you don't need firearms to invade a country. And I think as you guys can see, I'm not on a big section of border here. This is a 5-mile area that I'm showing you guys these videos from. There's 2,200 miles of border that I'm not showing you video from. You've got all of Texas, all of New Mexico, all of Arizona, and all of California. They are having the exact same problem along their border in the open areas where there's no border wall as we're having right here. And there's caravans that continue to keep coming. Plus, now we're getting reports that we have violent caravans that are coming through southern Mexico into Chiapas of Nigerians and Haitians that basically broke through the border down there, even though Mexico tried to stop them, and they're breaking through the cities. So they're not taking no for an answer, and they have the support of the cartels behind them. So, there's a lot of elements here. Plus, they're getting money. I'm going to guess probably in the neighborhood of 100 people or better just in this one group. I mean, obviously, I can't count all the kids. There's tons of kids here. There's little children here, as you can see. A lot of little kids. I don't know how well you guys can see some of this. But it's definitely something that you're going to be affected by, for sure. And you got to feed these people. Every one of them is going to need to see a doctor. Every single one of them is going to have to, you're going to have a place to live. Let's not forget about education. We got to put them through school. It isn't like we don't already have a school crisis going on here. And this is why we need the wall. This is why, things like the us being on the border, helping the border patrol in these areas, and things like building the wall with private funds. I mean, it's all in response to an emergency that the left doesn't want you people to believe. They don't want you to believe that we're being invaded. They don't want you to believe Donald Trump when he says this is a crisis. Okay? He wants everybody, the left wants you all to think this is manufactured, that this is some kind of a made-up figment of the right's imagination. And I'm showing you evidence time and time again that, these caravans didn't just organize themselves. 50 countries didn't just decide at one time, we're going to put together a 20,000 person caravan and march our way to the United States to claim asylum. This is very organized. These people are getting here. It's expensive to get here, but yet they're getting here. And if you believe that all these people are walking 3,000 miles to get here, you're out of your mind, okay? They're being transported here. They're being trafficked here. There's a lot to this story that you don't see. There's a lot of crime to this story that you don't see. A lot of these people could probably be charged with kidnapping. Renting children, hauling children through areas, and we call that child endangerment. But the fact of the matter is that this is as real as it gets, guys. This is right here. This isn't in Mexico. This is in the United States. This is in El Paso, Texas. These guys just wanted to come through Monument 1. That's that little area of open area down there. I've showed it to you guys 100 times. But we had the Mexican police sitting down there, so they had to move this group around. So right now the river is shallow. So they cut the river back there, came across, and ended up getting them over on the other side of the road. See over here, that's the highway. So they made it to the United States. They got in. They're here. So now they got to be processed. Now you're going to tie up several Border Patrol agents for hours. And, hey, Star, let me ask you a question. What country are they from?
¿De qué país son? Honduras y Guatemala nada más?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Nicaragua. So we've got Honduras, we've got Guatemala, we've got Nicaragua. Yeah, a lot of coughing going on here. A lot of sicknesses coming in here. We're well aware of that. Again, guys. Sometimes you have to be able to take care of your own. But let's talk about the other side of this crisis. Let's talk about our national security. Okay, let's put the humanitarian crisis to the side. What's going on at our border right now? Patrol's tied up with this. Who's watching the open holes in the border? Who's out there fighting and combating drugs right now? Who's out there making sure that people that want to do harm to this country aren't getting in? Who's doing that while your Border Patrol, your frontline national security, is tied up processing caravans of people who've come over here to take advantage of the United States? This is why Trump has told everybody from the beginning, this is serious, this is a crisis, the United States is full, and we don't have room for you. Okay? It's not racist, it's not immoral to have borders. Every country has a border. Every country has a border. Not to mention, you get large groups like this. Let me ask you another question. Who's to say one of these people aren't going to pull a gun and start shooting people? You got minimal number of agents here. And to assume that every single one of these people, without knowing anything about them, knowing they're from another country, just to assume that nothing's going to happen. It's just absolutely absurd. And we know these people are being coached. You notice everybody's wearing masks? That's for protection.
Yeah, the general rule is if they walk, they get a ban.
All right, you need any more? I got 2 more.
So what'll happen now, guys, is that we've got processing vans here. You guys have seen those in my other video. They'll get loaded into those vans. Then they're going to get hauled to a processing center that was built for 4,000 people, and I believe now it's rated about 20,000. So, you know, the left always says it's inhumane when they have to build a tent or something outside to hold people. The fact of the matter is there's no room. The processing centers are way overcapacitated, and, you know, so you can't blame anybody for that. Okay, as long as we keep letting them in and saying yes, and we don't want to build a wall, and we just want to let people run, and this is truly an invasion that's not going to stop until people get mad enough to say enough's enough, and they demand more of the Congress. And that's the only way it's going to stop, because wall alone is going to solve a big problem for national security, but it's not going to stop the invasion. Okay, you have to change the laws. We have to let the people down south know that if you want to come into the United States, you have to come in legally. You have to come in the right way. Okay? There's a right way to do things, and there's a wrong way to do things. And we have room for people that want to be Americans, that want to assimilate to American culture. But to break through with no regard for our laws, to come in here and disrespect our country, waving your country's flags, okay, and have no intention of anything other than taking advantage of our country and not assimilating to American values, that's an issue, guys. I take big issue with that. You know, it's an insult to every person who came here legally, who came here the right way. Okay? And, you know, like I said, You can say what you want, but the numbers are the numbers. 5 to 7% of this invasion actually qualifies for real asylum claims. Think about that. 5 to 7%. Oh, and then when you hear the crime numbers from El Paso, keep in mind, guys, these guys do not stay in El Paso. They will get sponsored. They will be assisted. When they get through their processing, the donators will give them bags, they'll give them care kits, and then they'll get sponsored, and they'll be taken care of, and then they'll be planted in a voting district, most likely, because you guys all know what the real agenda here is, and that's to push socialism. That's to make sure that illegal aliens have the right to vote. And that's why 5 years ago, they didn't care whether you were Republican or liberal. They all voted on border security. So, you know, this is where we're at. But my battery is going dead, guys. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I wanted to show you this. This is Jim from the U.S.-Mexico border, and share these video, guys. I appreciate you guys sharing them. It's making a big difference. Go check out the We Build the Wall page. That's the GoFundMe page that everybody donated to. Updates there. Like I said, this is the area where they're trying to get the wall built. They're in negotiations right now, but they're not just in negotiations here. They're in negotiations in a lot of different places. So check that out, and keep following us, guys. Share these videos with your friends. I hope they get seen. I hope that the word gets out there, because it's the only thing we can do to stop the invasion.
And they just all stop and just sit down. Coughing and choking, babies, and see if I can hold my light and get a little close up. This is just crazy, you guys. Share this to the president, share it to the White House, share it to anybody that you can. They just keep coming, over and over. And the groups are getting bigger, the people are getting sicker. I'm going to go around behind the truck and get the other side so you can actually see how many are here. Not that you can't already, but they just cover this whole camping area.
Again, this is the same area that we're working on getting the wall built. They're in negotiations right now with the property owner. We built the wall, Brian Colfitz and Veterans, who raised the money for the GoFundMe page. Check out his page if you haven't, guys. It's only going to be Americans who are going to solve this problem. You know, we the people have to stand up. We got to demand more.
I'm at a loss for words, guys. I just don't know what to say yet.
They bomb rush the border. This is how you get invaded.
That's overwhelming.
These the people that have come across our border, violated our laws coming in, and only 5 to 7% of them actually qualify for asylum.
Trying to get you more light so you can see.
You know, everybody wants to tell you that this is something you can just go to bed and ignore, and
Lots and lots and lots and lots of coffee.
it's not. It's real, it's happening, it's in our backyard.
Yes, it is real. Yes, it is happening. Yes, it is in our backyard.
So we're not filming from
Right here at our back door. They go all the way around that tree, all the way down there, around the tree.
sick people in
Oh my.
A lot of children, there's no way to eat.
We haven't gotten a count on this group yet.
You know, basically
It's
do a process on
huge. That's all I got to say. Maybe, shoot, maybe 300, 250. Lots of coughing. Lots of men with little children.
But we're just allowing people from all over the world to rush our borders. And this is the new exception to things. Like I said, we need to build a wall, we need to get laws. Bottom line, you gotta support Donald Trump. He's the only guy that's telling the truth. The media's not telling the truth.
Oh man.
Nobody's telling the truth. I promise you,
We need the wall, folks. Please share this.
people would take this more seriously and they call it an invasion. Unfortunately, because of the fact that they're not armed and they're coming in and invading us, it's not an invasion. How do you define an invasion? How many people have to come through the borders? How many people have to come into the country before you consider it an invasion?
Hi.
Okay, if this isn't a national
Who are you?
security crisis, I don't know.
Ghost, okay. I'm sorry. I know. This is nuts.
Down the road, and
This
if you think they're staying here in the border
look
city,
at the
you're out
men
of your
with the
mind.
little
Most of
children.
these people will go
Right
to
there.
processing.
Right here
They're
and
being
right
supported
here.
by charities. They're
Right
being
here.
supported by people advertising for sponsors for them.
Lots and lots of coughing, folks. This is what's coming across our border. We just.
It's as serious as it gets. And
How
right now,
bad
we've
does
got
it get
people
before we
southern
actually build the wall?
that are a lot more
Before
aggressive. They're a lot more, they storm the southern border.
Bill,
down
you
there
might
to
be
China,
right.
to
I mean, it
Nigeria.
goes all the way back. Right where those lights are, way back there. It goes back to there. So, yes, I agree. It is an invasion.
And now what are they doing?
I totally agree. My flashlight's going out, folks, but I think we've got enough lights around here that we can. He'll still be able to see what's going on.
A lot of these people have been lied to by whatever organization, has educated them and coached them and guided them along to get up here. But nothing good can come out of this, guys.
Lots
Nothing
and
good
lots
can
of
come out
coughing.
this. Don't put America first and take care of our own backyard, the veterans that are homeless, the people in our own neighborhoods that are homeless. If we
Do
don't
you have
do that
another
first,
flashlight? I'm starting to go dead.
to just allow our country to be invaded, then we're the ones to blame. That we allowed this to happen.
Oh, I can go. I don't want to put it on
Best thing you
spotlight.
can do to help us out,
Vamos
guys,
a levantar y vamos a regresarnos por donde entraron.
okay?
Pero al llegar al muro, vamos a seguir caminándole para allá.
Show everybody what's really going on in the border.
Porque estamos peligrosos usando los trajes por aquí.
Not going to
No
show you
queremos
this.
eso.
That's why we're here. We're here to document this. We're here to
What's
show
he saying
the
to him?
crisis with our
They're gonna get up, they're gonna all walk, and they're gonna go directly to the wall and start all the way. Put them in the bowl.
Oh.
Put them in the bowl and then take them. And they're gonna start walking.
Oh boy. Back up a little bit. Yes, they're going to walk them down to the wall right now. Wow. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is like a.
that don't know, I'm on the border of Mexico
U.S. border, southern border. This is in the El Paso sector, El Paso, Texas border to Mexico, after Mexico is where you suddenly see the lights. This is
Wow.
okay, we don't cross like this where there's no wall. We cross like this where there's no wall. Okay? And this is what we deal with. Okay?
Right. Let's send them over to Nancy Pelosi's house. Somebody just had a great idea.
That's what happened here tonight. Thank God. We were able to, let's go. There's no guarantee.
Sorry if I'm a little shaky, guys. This one got me kind of riled up.
Prende la luz. Go. Get out of the bushes. Go. Vámonos. Pásale. Go. 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 Pásale. Let's go. Let's go. Pásale.
Pásale.
Not negative.
Yeah, we'll probably walk all the way down to the bowl with these and give you one last shot of. This one looks like she's about ready to pass out.
Right here in front of you are sick.
Yeah, I know, they are. I know, I can tell she's wavering. This one right here, is somebody watching her? Is she pregnant or what is she?
Yeah.
Is she? Okay, he's helping her down off the track. We got light coming behind us, so we'll be able to see if they start to scatter a little bit, but these ones right here in the very back seem to be very sick or trying to lag behind. And look at those two little kids right there by themselves. Looks like, I don't know. Maybe it's a father and a son. Or I don't know. They're going up into the hills. Somebody needs to get up there. They're trying to hide in the bushes over there, Jim.
Let's go. Let's go.
Check up here on the hill, make sure. That one was found. They're trying to scatter a little bit, but come on, guys. Go.
They only drive one truck, okay? So
Go. Go. What?
Come on, pásale. Allá. Come on. Don't get squirrely on me. Come on, pásale. Let's go.
They don't want to go back. They're just stopping. They're gonna.
No paren, sigan caminando, persigan la troca con las luces. No paren, sigan caminando, por favor.
Go.
Síganle caminando, persigan al grupo, no se queden atrás. Rápido.
Man, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying to walk and I don't have my glasses on, so I'm not seeing your comments or anything, but oh man.
Camínenle.
Go.
Sigan a la otra troca con las luces, no se queden atrás.
They're trying to just stop. They're walking. Look at their feet. They're walking ever so slowly, trying not to go back there. They just stop.
Did it work?
They were trying to push him back, bro. All right.
There's the other group over there.
Kind of made a couple of groups here.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah. They're trying to separate. I think these are trying to get away over here. This one's pregnant or has something in her pouch. I'm not sure what. So there's a whole nother group right there. They've separated. I think they're gonna. I don't know what they're doing. Oh no, they're running. They're trying to run. They're trying to run past Border Patrol right now. Okay. Oh man, this is just crazy. There's a little tiny baby.
Manda perseguir a mí en esa troca, okay?
Now where are they going? Well, I guess they're going to get them to follow the Border Patrol truck. I'm not sure where to. Okay, I'm going to stand in one spot so you guys can see just how many passed me. Oh my goodness. I'm talking. There's got to be more like 400 here. They're still coming way down there. And I'm standing in one spot just trying to let you see just how many are coming, how many are passing, what's going on. Wow. That one's got a tight grip on that little boy right there. See the way they hold their kids? I don't think those are their kids, honestly. They've got grips on their wrists. It's crazy. Okay. I'm trying to climb up on the railroad tracks, guys, so sorry, it got so shaky. I guess we're heading back again. I'm not sure what we're doing now, but we'll see what they're gonna do with them. They've got them. Border Patrol truck up there, and Border Patrol truck here, and they've got them kind of sandwiched in between. And he's going over the hills and trying to see what's going on. Any of them got loose or headed up the hill. Wow, guys. Any of you out there who says this is not an invasion, here comes I don't know if you can see them way over there, the lights and sirens are coming around the bowl here pretty soon. I guess they're going to stop them up here right past the camp. They're trying to go up the side of the hill. They're trying to run again. They're splitting. Yep. They're running. Did they run? Yeah. Okay, I just gave my flashlight to somebody, they needed it. So, we're trying to get them rounded up. Oh, they're funneling them down to right down here, to the trucks. So, I guess they're trying to get them into a place where they can actually gather them and get them into the trucks to get them out of here. I don't know if you can see with that glare of the light right there, but go around behind this officer. This is kind of crazy. No, it is totally crazy. They're way over there too on the other side. They're taking them clean down there, marching them across the bowl. I'm not sure where they'll take them from there. They're way down there on the other side of the lights, and they come all the way up here, and this is what we still have left, and a whole bunch of them. Okay, we got the Border Patrol horses up here, or is that somebody on the hill? I don't know why they're separating them right now. They're separating them into two groups, I think. Wow. I guess they're piling them up down there, guys. Probably make them sit down there. They're trying to get them. They're trying to get them to go, and they are acting like they don't understand. Whether they do or not, I don't know. Yeah, this has got to be. These guys right here, I don't trust this one. They're trying to. Is somebody behind him over there? Jim? Okay. They're coming, this one right here with this little girl. I don't trust him. Okay, so they're going all the way down into the bowl. Lines and lines and lines of them. We need to get behind them because they don't want to go. They're just planted. Their feet are planted there.
Hey, pásale. Ustedes querían cruzar, pásale. Ya cruzan. Si vienen por orden, no van a estar bien.
Couple kids. We just got a note that a couple kids are picking up rocks, so be careful.
Where?
In here. I don't know which kid, but this one right here.
Which one?
The one in the red hat. Be very careful with him. He's. Yeah. They're gonna come in the back, and that's the one that doesn't want to. She's bad.
Let's go. Vámonos. Go.
Okay.
Yeah, just watch him.
Vámonos. Red hat. Red hat.
Come on. Right here.
Come on, pásale, let's go. Come on. That's him. Pásale, let's go. Come on. Who's that guy? I think that's that guy right there. No, pásale, let's go.
He's trying to get him to stop.
Go. Go. Pásale. Pásale. What is it? Señor, ¿quieres sus esposas, huh? That's what I thought. Now go. Puerta en la pierna. Señor, come on. Come on, let's go. Vámonos, go. What is it? Huh? El último, okay? Let's go.
Wow, guys. Please share this. Share it to your senators, your governors. Share it to your president. Donald Trump has got to see this. The White House, the Oval Office, anywhere you can get it. They need to see it.
Should be the last one right here. Nobody back there?
No. That's it.
What? You're up there. I don't know what's in the center.
Down into the bowl, I think. Wow. Well, I guess the good thing is, good thing is I haven't heard a lot of coughing. Okay, so this is what's going on. Holy cow, guys! Oh my God! Look at them. I'm gonna try to zoom in. I don't know if it's going to get too grainy for you guys to see, but they're coming down, still walking down the hill here. But they're trying to get them down there so they can pick them up, bring in the vans and stuff and pick them up. Where's Reese?
The dog patch is sitting right there. Nah, dude, that's not going to work. They're not going to move the crossing, dude. They think they will move some south, dude. I know, you're going to do that.
Wait for me. Okay, I'm going to go around, and I guess I'm going to go down and walk them wherever they're going, guys. They're stopping. They're confused. They don't know.
This is where the guy freaking nose died. Okay. The guy last night.
Down here?
Yeah, he sure broke free from the
my
was right there.
Okay. So they start right here and they wrap down and around that hill, and then the majority of them, I don't know, I don't want to walk too close to them, but they're all down there on the ground, but we've got all of these lined up. This lady right here with a little child. Wow. They just don't know where to take them to. They don't know where to take them to. They don't know what to do with them.
Do you have an extra flashlight? She got the extra one.
You can have this one. Just stick close so I can keep the live video going for these people. They've stuck in on this video for so long that I kind of like to let them see what happens, but I guess they're gonna. Are they taking them down to the restaurant? I guess.
Why'd you take them to the friggin' restaurant? I don't know where they're gonna take them.
Okay, now you guys, I'm gonna zoom in and try to get you another.
Watch it up there on the track.
Train coming. Okay.
You got this, Johnny.
That's
Johnny 5.
the group. Is she not going to get up?
She's taking a break.
Okay.
She's been taking a break.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
More coming in? Jeez. Oh, there's another group.